Immenso amor del Dio nostro Signore.
Wow, fantastic.
We are Barry and Jill, the Irish pilgrims, living and working in Germany. Join us as we share stories about our community project that we're involved in, or our camper van conversion that keeps us busy in our free time, or just any other kind of carrying on that takes our fancy.
We're mixing things up a bit with this video. I was back on the road again with a recent work trip to Italy, and as part of my work for the Methodist Church in Britain, I get to visit projects all around Europe. This time I was in Rome meeting the mission partners working there and speaking at an event about music in ministry. You'll even get a wee glimpse of me singing one of my songs, but staying true to those words of wisdom, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. There will be absolutely no footage of my dodgy dancing at this event. There are some things, folks, that you just can't unsee. Anyway, let's get on with the Italian job. First time back on the road after about a year and a half. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I did look into travelling to Rome by train to try to reduce the carbon footprint, but I just couldn't make it work this time in the short time frame that I had, basically just a long weekend in Rome. But the plan is in the future, when the van conversion's completed, to use the camper van for some work visits as well, visiting projects around Europe. But today, it's Lufthansa that's taking me to Rome. Just arrived at the Methodist Church here in Rome after a day's travelling at the Via del Banco di Santo Spirito. And this is one of the Methodist churches in Rome, and they have guest rooms up above. That's where I'm staying. But look at the view just directly across the road. What a background. Not bad, eh? Let's see what this weekend brings. The view from the rooftop is even more spectacular. The sun setting behind St. Peter's at the Vatican, and then the Emperor Hadrian's fortress and the Ponte Sant'Angelo bridge just opposite the church. So Daniel is one of our mission partners here in Rome. Daniel, tell me, what do you do here in Rome?
Well, I'm pastor at the church here in Ponte Sant'Angelo, but we've got people from Ghana, people from the Philippines, people from England, people from Italy, and it's a wonderful community.
How's your Italian?
I can order pizza now. I'm really good at that now. And I can even say which kind of pizza I want to eat. Yeah.
Can you say something in Italian just to prove to all your friends back home in the UK that you actually are here in Italy?
Volare, oh, cantare, oh.
So, there you have it, folks. A genuine Italian-British man, and I'm going to go and meet Grace now, the other half of this cool team here in Rome. And folks, we are down at a park in Rome, and I'm with Grace, the other half of the Rome Dream team here at the Ponte Sant'Angelo International Church, English speaking church. Grace, say hello to everybody.
Hello everybody.
And Grace is a mission partner for the Methodist Church in Britain, serving here in Rome. And Grace, tell us, what do you get up to whenever I'm not filming you in a park? Let us know.
I am what they call an intercultural worker.
Okay.
What I do is basically get people to get along. We know that as a church, we all belong together. People of every nationality, we belong together. So what I do is help people to get along. And I do that with grown-ups, and I do that with little ones too.
Brilliant. And you also have, I'm not going to show Catherine's face, but you have, how old is Catherine now?
Catherine is nearly 11 months old.
Okay, amazing. Yeah. And you have a pretty cool view from the top of the roof of your building.
Yeah. We like to say we are the closest Protestant neighbours to His Holiness.
And tell me, how's your Italian? Have you had to learn Italian here?
My Italian is così. Depends on the day. To be perfectly honest, when you catch me when I'm not thinking, I can probably get several sentences out without making a mistake.
Okay.
But when I have to think about it, it's a different story.
You told me one sentence earlier that is a really good sentence to know in Italian if you go to any Italian church meetings.
Yeah, se va bene per voi, va bene per me. Which means if it's okay for you, it's okay for me.
Brilliant.
I'm having a mummy moment.
Thanks, Grace.
Yes. Do you want to say something too?
So here I am standing in front of Hadriano, formerly known as Hadrian, and he is actually going to be able to answer my questions. So, Hadrian, the big question I have is, why did you build that wall across England?
Well, what do you do with all the bricks you've got? You've got to use them for something. And I mean, we needed to employ people because it was an economic crisis. So we had to get people working. And, the best way economically, this is common sense for economists, to build a big project.
Okay.
So that'll get the English employed. And if they're employed, they'll be less difficult.
Okay.
Keep them out of trouble.
So it was nothing to do with the Scots then, no?
No, in fact, it was to almost protect the Scots from the English.
Okay, good man. Hadrian, so we'll catch up later. Thanks for your time. Go back to doing that statue thing that you do.
I took an Italian version of Uber to get me across town to meet up with Fiona. She's one of our mission partners and she works as a legal advisor for Mediterranean Hope, an amazing organisation that supports and advocates for refugees. I'll put a link in the description if you want to find out more about their work and maybe even support them. They really do a fantastic job.
So, Fiona, when COVID was happening here in Italy, we saw on our TVs about the Italians coming out onto their balconies and maybe singing and playing violins or just shouting across and speaking. I notice here from your apartment, you've got neighbours right across the way here. Did that happen here?
It absolutely did.
Yeah.
And it was really important. So it was March 2020, I guess, when that happened, that we were in a lockdown situation, entirely shut in. It was a really strict lockdown in Italy. And so this opportunity to come onto your balcony or stick your head out your window at an appointed time each day became a really important thing.
But did you know the neighbours already, were you?
Absolutely not.
So this was actually meeting for the first time?
So we opened our windows and we looked across, and one of my neighbours put the music out and the singing kind of happened, and then of course we all hung around for a chat. And that was the beginning of what are now really valuable friendships. These are friendships that have endured beyond the lockdown, and it means that we now get to see one another in person, and it's a real blessing to have become friends with people in this neighbourhood through the lockdown.
Brilliant, fantastic. So, say hello to our neighbours. What are they called?
Franco and Giovanni.
Franco and Giovanni. Buongiorno.
Sometimes I'm asked by folks who don't go to church about the amount of money that the church has, and when you see these spectacular pictures here of gold and resources, the question's justified. But as we were walking around in these hallowed halls and beautiful churches, we were talking about other work of the church, particularly the work of Mediterranean Hope, and how Fiona, with her colleagues there, set about lobbying MEPs about all the issues around migration, setting up humanitarian corridors to help resettle migrants in a safe way, bringing them to places of safety without having to risk coming across the Mediterranean in overcrowded little rubber boats. Fiona also works with the Church's Commission for Migrants in Europe, raising awareness of issues around migration and helping local congregations, local churches to get involved in welcoming the stranger, welcoming the refugees, and help them integrate into society. So this too is church. Fiona had another meeting to go to, so I headed back to my digs, taking in the sights and sounds of Rome on the way.
So this is Rome as well. Not only are they crazy drivers in the sense that any gap they will fit into it when they're driving, but when you park, I would never get out of this. I don't know how you're meant to get out of this. Impressive.
This is the way the Italians come under scaffolding. They're doing some renovations on the facade here of this building. Not one of the main squares here, but it's very tastefully covered.
The next day I headed up into the hills around Rome to where the weekend conference was taking place. I was travelling with Daniel and Matthew. Matthew is a pastor from the USA, a mission partner also working in Rome. And so you can just imagine the deep conversations that these three theologians were having on the way to this event.
So Cristiano Ronaldo, will he be a success on his return to Manchester United?
Who is this man?
Just so he's on the line. Cristiano, molto bene. Quiero ser gordo. Yeah, I think you will. Right, cheers.
Cheers.
Will he be a success? Well, he's getting to 36, and I know as a 39-year-old, I cannot run very fast now. But that doesn't mean he can't. But what's your take on this, Matthew? I mean, you're 30.
Almost 36, yeah, almost 36.
So, you know, do you think he'll be having that vibrancy that he brought, you know?
Well, I stopped running 20 years ago.
You stopped running 20 years ago. I don't think he stopped, but I can't imagine him being as strong as Ibrahimovic.
How much are they paying him?
They're paying him enough to run. And I would even try and run for that money. I would run. If you gave me that much money, I would even do exercise.
If you ask me, he's already a success because the amount of football shirts that they've sold with his name on it has made it a financial success.
And in a sense, if they signed me with my experience in Middlesbrough, Milan,
that's right.
You know, and Roma,
and your mum and dad bought 2 shirts.
I started on probation in Cameroon. You know.
So just arrived up outside of Rome at the Methodist Retreat Centre in Velletri. Lovely, beautiful little place. It's cooler here as well, here for the weekend. Just had check-in with all the COVID stuff, getting your temperature taken, getting the COVID pass scanned, writing down all the details. Really, really thorough. Really impressed by how Italy's going about maintaining the low numbers of COVID cases here. So looking forward to this weekend. So Daniel gave a talk on Charles Wesley, for all you Methodist geeks out there, Charles Wesley, the hymn writer, and how he used the tunes from the pubs back then in the 18th century. And Daniel took one of Charles Wesley's hymns and put it to a modern tune as well. Basically just doing a Charles Wesley on Charles Wesley.
Dies. You can explore your strange design. Invent the first conservatives to sound the depths of love divine. Tis mercy, oh, let earth adore, let angel minds inquire no more. Amazing love, how can it be that thou, my God,
this is my brother Francesco. He's a web designer. And tell us about this t-shirt, Francesco. Did you design it yourself?
Yes.
His English is minimal, but he has the main thing here. Keep calm and love your neighbour. Well done, brother. Give me a thumbs up. My friend Simona.
Thank you.
He plays wonderful piano.
Thank you.
He's a good guy, even though he's from Calabria.
Ah, it's a video.
So this is Matthew. He is another one of our Rome Dream Team mission partners. There's so many of them in Rome doing a great job. Matthew's from America. Matthew, tell us, what are you up to? Why are you in Rome?
So for the last year, I've been in Rome working as the director of the Methodist Ecumenical Office.
I've asked the other mission partners who are not Italian native speakers, have they learned to speak Italian? And there's been varied results and varied answers. So I'm going to ask you, as an American living in Italy, not very long, have you learned to speak Italian, and can you say anything in Italian that would totally impress me?
Sì, ho studiato italiano, ma solo 3 mesi intensivo, e piano. I study little by little. I'm learning.
I'm impressed. You've got me. You're just showing off now. Brother, lovely talking to you. Every blessing for your continued work here. Thanks for chatting to me.
Okay, so tonight we're going to sing some Irish folk songs.
Quindi stasera canteremo un po' di canti popolari irlandesi.
And we're going to sing some songs that I've written myself. And because I'm such a nice guy, I've translated it into Italian.
E perché io sia un buon, bravo uomo, vi ho tradotti quelli in italiano.
Using the gift of the Spirit I have called Google.
Utilizzando.
Jump out of bed, the whole day it lies ahead. Look up, the sky is blue, the sun is shining, and so are you. And I'm blessed, yes, I know I'm blessed. One more time. I'm blessed, yes, I know I'm blessed. And again. I'm blessed, yes, I know I'm blessed. I'm blessed, yes, I know I'm blessed.
So here I am with Antonio, my new friend. And Antonio, tell us first of all where you're from originally.
Buongiorno, buenos dias. I am from Mexico.
From Mexico,
Yeah,
so you've come all the way across into Europe, and you're working in Rome at the moment. You're the music ministry enabler for the Italian Methodists up Jamie. Are some of Charles Wesley hymns, have they been translated into Italian? Did you translate "And Can It Be" into Italian?
Yeah. Thank you to for this gift of the Lord, and I translate this.
You heard it here, folks. This guy here, Antonio, is responsible for translating "And Can It Be" into Italian, and it's going to get even better because he can sing. Antonio, in a former life, was an opera singer, and I'm just going to put you on the spot, Antonio, and ask you, can you sing maybe one sentence, one line of "And Can It Be" in Italian or in English?
I'll start in English.
Yeah.
And can it be that I should gain in Italian immenso amor del Dio nostro Signore?
Wow, fantastic.
One Sunday afternoon, I left the Methodist Retreat Centre in Velletri and headed back down into Rome. It really was a great weekend, lots of laughter, lots of fun, good teaching, worship and fellowship. Made some new friends, and I learned a lot about our partners and their work in Italy. Many thanks to the Reverend Mirella Minocchio
the president of the Italian Methodist Church, for her invite to me and for taking time for me and sharing more about her vision for the church and the work in Italy. What a way to just finish off Daniel and myself sitting up on the terrace above the church, the Methodist Church in Ponte Sant'Angelo here in Rome, drinking a good cup of Yorkshire tea that Daniel has smuggled in through customs. So, and he knows how to make a really good cup of tea. Yeah, so we're just sitting here chatting. But look in the background, the Vatican in the background, and this is where Hadrian, the Emperor Hadrian, is buried, the fortress, and the Ponte Sant'Angelo down just across the road. But as beautiful as this scenery is, I mean, it's two mission partners, two ordinary guys serving in Europe, just trying to make the world a better place, and doing what we do. And it's just lovely to have a good chat with him and spend some time with my brother here. So we're going to get back to our tea now. Good night from us.
And good night from him.